tell people.
Leo went on. Oh, there you go. All right, everyone. How you doing? My name is Don Minaj, and we are here with David Faustino, Grandmaster Beat, Bub Bundy. How you doing, sir?
I'm well. Thank you guys for having me, man. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been checking out the page, and you guys have a nice, great following of loyal fans. It's really good, so it's good to be here. Thank you guys for reposting all of my stuff about the Married with Children reunion, which we'll talk about. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes. So let's talk about that for a minute. I know your time is valuable, so I don't want to keep you too long. So let's talk about your reunion. It's valuable to us. This is a great honor to even have you here. So
you said so the reunion is something we did. Our first reunion on January 28th here in Los Angeles. It was our very first one. We did it at the Wiltern Theater in Hollywood, or East Hollywood. And it was a smash success. We sold it out in 2 days. People would have wished we had done 2 nights, and quite honestly, we probably should have. But it was the 4 family members: myself, Christina Applegate, Katie Seagal, and Ed O'Neill. The first time we were all really on stage together for a public, venue, which we did not stream that event purposely because we knew we wanted to do more. And so here, our next one is going to be May 9th. Also here in Los Angeles, downtown LA at the Orpheum Theater. It's a 2 p.m. show, and it's part of the Netflix is a Joke Fest. So that's kind of how it came about. It's also for Live Nation. Shout out Live Nation. Shout out Netflix is a Joke. And so we're excited about doing round 2 of the Married with Children reunion for the fans.
What are you most excited about in that reunion?
I mean, dude, it was crazy. Like the first one that we did, first of all, I mean, we knew it was going to be crowded because, like I said, it's sold out. But just like, when I was pulling up to the venue, I had my daughter and my wife and a couple friends in the car, and just to see the excitement of the fans and people lined up down the street, all wearing their No Ma'am shirts. People were dressed up. Peg. Yeah, people were dressed up as Peg and Al, and like super excited. Like all the merch that we had for sale there, it sold out in like 15 minutes. I don't think I knew we knew it was going to be a success. I just don't think any of us kind of realized like how intense it would be, so I'm looking forward to that again. And it was a lot of fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, I love that whole cast. I really do. I grew up with the Bundys. I mean, Al Bundy represented my father. My father was like the Puerto Rican Al Bundy. Okay. And then we had the same sibling rivalries that you guys had. We connected with them, It was actually a show, one of the first shows my whole family watched together, actually. Yeah. We all had our own individual shows that we didn't care about each other's shows. But when Married with Children came on, I think it was about Sunday nights at 8:00. We were eating dinner, watching it in the living room.
That's awesome. It's funny because I hear that, I go to some conventions or people on the street, wherever it is. And I hear a lot the same comment, which I love, which is, my family was dysfunctional. We didn't always get along. Sometimes we were fighting about this or that. But on Sunday nights at 8:00 or 9:00, whatever time it came on for you, we got together and we laughed together for 30 minutes. And I love hearing that. It's a big, it means we did our job, I guess.
Yes. And my mother was one for, the cleaner comedy. She liked the Cosby Show, Full House, but she also enjoyed Married with Children with us.
Yeah,
She sometimes thought it was a little over the top, but she still watched with us, laughed with us. You know, same thing with my father. My father, this he actually took to the show more than we did.
that's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
so that was great. We grew up with that. So seeing you guys get back together, it's so awesome. It's like very meaningful for the entire Married with Children community. The
That's
people who
great.
grew up with that, like us.
You know, and I feel bad that we were doing two in a row in LA, because I know, you know, we have so many fans in Middle America, in the South, and really a
Mhm.
lot on the East Coast. You know, in, you know, all across the East Coast. So our plan is to hopefully, you know, get this one under our belt for Netflix as a joke, and then expand out.
Mhm.
We have some offers from Vegas. I know,
Mhm.
you know, we definitely have our eye on Chicago, because Chicago
Yes.
has always been obviously a
Mhm.
loyal fan base for us, based on just the blue collar
The,
aspect of Chicago, and
mhm.
also the fact that the Bundys, you know, were supposed to have lived in Chicago. So
In
it's kind of a
Chicago,
sense, yeah, it's
I
kind of a
actually
sense.
visited the site.
Oh, the house.
Yes, I actually Leo, if you have that, can you pull that up? I actually visited the site.
Oh my God, that's hilarious,
Yes, I
dude.
have my
There it
Bundy
is.
shirt on.
Oh
There it
wow,
is.
I've never even been there, bro.
Yeah, I actually heard that. I was actually talking to Leo about that earlier. I heard
Yeah,
that you've never been to the site. So
never been. I
yeah.
don't think any of us have really.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
it's sort of the perfect house. I don't know how they found it. You know, I mean,
Uh,
this is before the days of, like, you know, going online
mm-hmm.
and either creating an AI home that looked perfect, or even
Mm-hmm.
just map questing one. I mean, obviously
Mm-hmm.
somebody had to go out and location scout and find that
Look.
house. Yeah.
And why would they make it such a poor looking house? When I tell you that house is in a very rich area of Chicago,
Is it
very
really?
rich area.
Oh
Yes,
wow.
um Leo, if you have the other picture, you could pull that one up with the side by side houses. Very rich area. Look at the nice layout. Like,
Crazy.
that would have been the
Right.
neighbor's house, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Well, it probably really
uh
stood out when they were driving around, if they were seeing a bunch of nice houses, and then all of a
it
sudden they were like,
really
"Oh,
did.
this is the Bundy
Like
house."
what
Although, you know, growing up in LA, it's like we didn't grow up rich. You know, we grew up very just, you know, lower middle
mm-hmm,
class, and you
mm-hmm,
know, our house was smaller than that. So when they showed it, I thought, well, you know, it's not that bad.
mm-hmm.
I lived in a one
So
story, two bedroom house with one bathroom growing up before
yeah,
Married with Children. You know.
yeah, man. I grew up in upper lower class part of South Jamaica, Queens in New York. So we just
Okay.
resonated with everything.
Shout
Yes,
out
we just
Jamaica
resonated with.
Queens. Shout out New
Thank you,
York.
thank you. Yes. So so
I'm
I
a
also
big
hear
New
you have a
York.
documentary coming out. I'm sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I said I'm a big New York fan, man. I grew up out here, but you know, I've gotten to come to New York for lots of, you know, work and different
Mm-hmm.
opportunities, and bring my family out there. And I actually
Mm-hmm.
lived in Soho for a short time,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm a big New York fan. So shout out to all the New York fans out there. We love you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome. Awesome. So yeah, you have a documentary on your old nightclub coming out.
I
I did
do. As
that
a matter of
research.
fact, yeah. So a lot of people have heard or know about this '90s hip hop club that I ran from '90. Let's see, I think it was '91 to '94,
Mm-hmm.
out here in LA, and it was the first hip hop club on the Sunset Strip. And so what that means is, for people who don't know, you know, Los Angeles that well, or the Sunset Strip. The Sunset Strip is sort of, you know, after the jazz era, it became a hairband strip. It was metal, rock and roll. I mean, that's what it was for years and years and years. And because of a couple of my partners, shout out Dan Eisenstein, shout out Nick Adler and Robert Gavin. I met Nick Adler, who's Lou Adler's son. Lou Adler being the legendary music producer, famous for, you know, acts like Carole King, the Mamas and the Papas, finding
Mm-hmm.
Cheech and Chong, and directing the first
Okay.
Chong Up in Smoke movie. Yeah, Lou Adler is a G. And actually, what people might most know him for, funny enough, is he's the guy that was always sitting next to Jack Nicholson at the Lakers games. There was Jack on the floor, and then there was a guy next to him who had a beanie and long hair and sunglasses. That was always Lou. So Lou graciously allowed us to take over his the Whiskey A Go Go, where famously
Okay.
the Doors, the Doors were, I don't know if you want to say discovered, but a lot of big bands were discovered there, and we were the first we were the first people to ever bring hip hop to the Whiskey, let alone
Okay.
the Sunset Strip. And so we did a night there every Thursday night, and it just became this crazy smash success in LA. It was like legendary. And you had, you had kids from Beverly Hills as well as kids from the hood. You had this like crazy mix. And while that may not work today, somehow in some way it just like blended perfectly. And
Okay.
you had all legendary rappers coming through, from Be Real to Eazy-E, NWA. I mean, just
Right.
the whole gamut. And
Right.
as a matter of fact, the Black Eyed Peas all formed there. So none of them had met yet.
Okay.
They all kind of were backpack kids coming from different areas of LA. Will is from,
That's
Boyle
amazing.
Heights. Yeah, and they all met in the dance circle there and formed, unbeknownst to me at the time, because I was busy running the club. They formed what is now the Black Eyed Peas there. So there's a lot of lore that comes out of there. And Will is a big part of the documentary, and Taboo produced it with us. And so, we're really excited about it. We have it in the can. We're in the editing process right now and starting to shop it. And we're pretty excited about it. It's called Ballistics, the untold story of the first hip hop club on the Sunset Strip.
Okay. That's amazing. That's a lot of history. I heard you also did some freestyles there. You did some battle raps?
Yeah, we did battle raps. So I hosted the freestyle contest, and that's sort of how that, while they formed there, that's how Black Eyed Peas got on the map. Because Will, a lot of people don't know, he was called Will 1X at the time. He wasn't Will I Am yet. And he basically took his name and formed it with, I think his two favorite rappers were, or his two favorite groups were X-Clan and KRS-One. So it was like Will 1X. And he would partake in the battle every week. And what people don't know about Will is he was one of the greatest freestyle battlers of all time, and he was a vicious freestyle artist. And so we would hold this freestyle contest, and once he got up, no one ever beat him until the club ended. And like he would just take MCs apart from head to toe. And Easy, who was a regular at the club, saw this, and then he signed them to Ruthless Records, and the rest is history. At that time, they were called the At-Band Clan, and then they changed their name to Black Eyed Peas a little later.
So it all happened down because of Ballistics.
All happened because of Ballistics. And if you talk to Will, he's even quoted as saying, on the red carpet a couple of times, he said, I wouldn't have a record deal if it wasn't for David Faustino. And I always say to him, he would absolutely have a record deal, because he was he's a genius artist, but it would have happened just in a different way. But we were sort of the catalyst to help him get a deal and to form that group.
Awesome. That's simply amazing.
Yeah, it's good history.
I mean, your part. I mean, it's funny that you played Grandmaster B on TV, and your real hip hop influence real hip hop names. You know.
Yeah, the whole Grandmaster B thing sort of came from my love of hip hop, and not vice versa. I mean, the reason the writers sort of came up with that alter ego and kind of was they had a knack. The writers had a knack for being able to take parts of us and like poke fun slightly. And they saw me kind of really gravitating toward hip hop, and people would visit the set like Easy or Ice Cube came down a few times, Ice-T, and these cats would come down to the set, and the writers would be like, "Yo, what's going on with Dave here?" And so after that, and me starting the club, they came up with the Grandmaster B alter ego, and that's kind of how it all melded together.
That's amazing. We all love Grandmaster B on TV. I mean, to me, you were still the cool kid. I don't know why. You were still the cool kid, even as Grandmaster B. I just connected with you a lot on TV, so I love the Grandmaster B, thing, and the fact that influenced real hip hop.
While he was a lovable loser, he was also sort of a hero to many young men, that related to
never give up.
No, yeah, exactly. He never gave up.
Never gave up. That's one thing I related to.
Yeah. No matter how many times he got knocked silly, he kept getting up and trying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what else we got? So you still stay in contact with the cast of Married with Children?
Yeah, very much so. And even before the reunion happened,
Mm-hmm.
a couple months ago, we've always stayed close. And that's, I wouldn't say rare for a show that long, but most of the times you go on set, whether it be a TV show or a movie, and you very much become family quick. I'd say within like the first week, you're like a small family, and there's a lot of love and camaraderie. But
Mm-hmm.
then that project ends, and
Mm-hmm.
with even with best intentions of like, oh, we're going to remain friends and we're going to stay in contact, 9 times out of
Mm-hmm.
10 it kind of fizzles out and everybody goes back to their
Mm-hmm.
life. But with Married
Oh.
with Children, a few things. First of all, we were together for 11 years, so that's obviously one of the
Mm-hmm.
reasons, and the other is because you know that set, from the executive producers on down, from Michael Moy and Ron Levitt and Richard Gurman. These guys sort of
Mm-hmm.
created such a space of like freedom and fun. And I
Mm-hmm.
would go on to a lot of other sets at the time, and the vibe was just completely different. And our vibe was just very free, open. It was definitely not a place for kids to be hanging out, but it was just kind of my life, and
Mm-hmm.
anything went on that set. And because of that, we all remained family and close. And so we've remained friends throughout the years. And then, especially as this reunion started to, the word of the reunion started to take place,
Mm-hmm.
my partner, Ben Brucato, and I, we put this whole thing together and produced it from the ground up. So it was a lot of work on our part. The rest of the
Mm-hmm.
cast just had to show up and sit down in their chairs and have fun. But Ben and I really put a lot of hard work and effort into making this thing happen. Because
Okay. Awesome.
while Katie Seagal and I, we both do the convention circuit, the Comic Cons and whatnot. Ed and Christina have never done any of them, so it was
Mm-hmm.
no small task, getting them all on board and being able to say yes to this
Mm-hmm.
thing. But obviously, they had a lot of fun, which is why we're doing this next one. And by the way, before I forget,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to mention that tickets are available now for the reunion on May 9th here in LA. And by the way, at the last one, we had people
Mm-hmm.
from all over the world, man, from Europe and
Mm-hmm.
the Middle East and all over the country that flew into LA just to see this thing. So no matter where
Awesome.
you are in the world, if you're able to get a ticket, we'd love to have you. And you can get tickets
Mm-hmm.
actually at bundyclub.com. There's a link straight to the Ticketmaster. So
Mm-hmm.
bundyclub.com is sort of a one-shop spot. You can
Mm-hmm.
join the Zoom thing that we're doing, which we'll talk about in a minute. But you can also
Mm-hmm.
go to bundyclub.com and hit the link there. It'll take you right to the purchase page for the reunion on May 9th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone's heard that. Bundyclub.com is where you could get tickets. He just said it. So what else can we talk about?
Let's
How?
talk about,
Oh, can we
since
get a
we're already.
quick up?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Can we get a quick update, if possible, on Christina? We know she has MS. She's going through her own personal stuff. Would she be able to do any kind of TV?
I guess it would depend on the role, how much physicality was involved, or what the character
Mm-hmm.
is. MS is a very insidious, sort of tricky disease, in
Mm-hmm.
that one day you can be okay. I won't say fine, but you can be pretty
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then
Yeah.
the following day you may not be able to walk, or your speech may be slurred, or you're so exhausted you can't get out of bed. So it's a very
Or you can
tricky,
remember.
or you can't remember exactly.
Remember.
So
Yes, I had a friend with MS, so yeah, I remember.
yeah,
She'll wake up some days and not remember 2-3 days and stuff like that. So,
yeah, it's a wild disease. So
uh,
and that's why it was such a surprise, and sort of a pleasant surprise and a shock that she was able
mm-hmm.
to do this thing with us. She got right on stage with us
Mm-hmm.
and was hilarious and bantered, and
Yes.
actually was probably funnier than the rest of us. The crowd loved her.
Mm-hmm.
And so the answer to your question is, she's doing as good as she can be doing from one day to
Awesome.
the next. Yeah, thank you for asking.
Awesome. Big shout out to her. Thoughts and
Yeah,
prayers always.
yeah.
All right. So, yeah, you want to move on? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, we were already talking about bundyclub.com, and one of the things I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
talk about is is that actually tomorrow night, for the first time, my partners and I, shout out Darren and Brian, we're kind of doing an experiment where we wanted to start a fan site, but we didn't want it to be just your regular fan site. We wanted it to be very interactive. And one of the things that we came up with was to do this sort of bi-weekly watch party where we take an episode. We take an episode for each time we do the watch party, starting with the pilot, which is what we're starting with. So the sort of the homework for the fans is to watch the pilot episode, and then we get on a Zoom at 6:30 p.m. Tomorrow night, so 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we talk about the episode. Everybody chimes in. Everybody who goes to bundyclub.com to sign up is a part of this Zoom meeting. So we're all on together. The moderator is there. We're doing the interview. We have the co-executive producer Richard Gurman, who I just mentioned. He's our first guest, and we'll be sort of talking about how the show started, the casting process, how he found everybody, how the pilot came to be, and all of the sort of behind the scenes inside scoop of how Married with Children got off from the pilot episode. And again, you can sign up to that at bundyclub.com, and by signing up, you'll get a secret link emailed to you to join the conversation, and we're taking people's questions live. So it's going to be quite an experiment and an experience tomorrow night. And again, you can go to bundyclub.com and sign up for that.
6:30 Pacific time. So we'll catch up on it. I'll catch up on it on Florida time.
Yeah, we're pretty excited.
Yes. So.
And I think we have a membership for your followers and listeners. If they go there, they can join a group called Al Bundy Clips, and I think they'll automatically be upgraded to an elite membership. So check that out, Al Bundy Clips. There's a group there you can join.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of Al Bundy, I made a piece of fan art that actually brought me and Leo together. As I told you earlier, he was the first one to allow me this piece of fan art to go public.
All right.
Okay. He liked it so much. I had released it on YouTube. It got almost no traction.
Okay.
I figured, let me hit up one of these people who do, the Married with Children clips.
Right.
So I did. I hit up like 2 or 3, and I got, this is AI. I don't want nothing to do with this. This is AI. I don't want nothing to do with this. Leo was kind enough to look past it was AI.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember a few months ago, there was this app called Sora that came out that you could make your own trailers and stuff for everything.
I do remember hearing about it. Yeah.
Yes. So one day I was just thinking, I believe it was actually on his Instagram where I saw a picture of someone, an AI picture of Al Bundy when he was younger. It looked like a football card. I was like, yes. And I was like, what if I made a trailer to what the 4 touchdown story was?
Okay.
And I did it in a kind of different way. It was the art of this trailer is that it's not the 15-second clips you saw. It's a bunch of clips put together. I made this a whole 3-minute trailer with Easter eggs and everything to the show. So, Leo, if you can you pull that up for us?
All right.
We would like you to react to it.
This is the 4 touchdowns in one game sort of backstory. Is it? What'd you call it?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
The title of the trailer is called Four Touchdowns.
Okay. Word. Let's check it out.
There you go.
Higgins. Love it.
Wait, pull it all the way to the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. There you go.
The dodge.
They call it a game, but when I look back, I don't see a game. I see a king finding his crown.
I saw the new girl from Wonker County checking you out.
1966, Polk High. He was perfection. He was a force of nature.
Bundy. Your family's from Lower Uncton, right? Any idea why they don't get sunlight there?
Yeah, the last time you were sunbathing out there, the sun worked overtime and quit.
But you didn't see him the way I did. You didn't see the fire in those eyes. And every girl in Chicago held
Oh
her
my
breath
God, they
when
have a
he walked
sale.
by.
You know shoes are the way to a girl's heart.
He was destined for greatness.
I'll just work there for the summer. Besides, shoes are the way to a girl's heart.
He was going
Be
to
a
be
great way to meet a girl.
But the world was jealous. He had the whole world in front of him. Colleges, scholarships, the pros. But he was fighting for something more.
All you do is fight. I got no choice but to bench you for the rest of the season.
I can't believe you're breaking up with me right before the homecoming dance. For who? Who is she?
Margaret Wanker? Margaret Wanker?
Hey, let's go for a ride. My father left me the Dodge.
The city championship, Andrew Johnson High. It was hopeless.
Coach, Spare Tire just took out another one of our guys. If we're gonna win this game, we're gonna need
They
him.
were waiting for a miracle. And then,
No other choice. Bundy,
my Al.
get your ass
He didn't just walk onto that field. He owned it. He looked at that end zone like it was the only thing that
Bundy
mattered.
cheated me. Spare Tire got robbed.
Spare tire. You wanna fight? Let's rock.
It was the greatest night in Chicago history. 4 touchdowns in a single game. That was the night a legend was born.
God damn it! There's not a thing in this world that can stop that boy.
Hey, great game. I'm Peggy. And I knew one day he will be mine forever.
Am I gonna need a
Hold
fake
up.
ID for?
Bundy, 4 touchdowns in one game deserves a celebration.
Funny, man. That's hilarious. I love that backstory. That's it's well done, well played, man. You got all the little elements in there, even Spare Tire.
Yeah. Yes. I just did it. Believe it or not, I did it all from memory, and just clip after clip. It took me about 4 days to put together, but yeah.
Oh shit, it's cool, man. I dig it.
Yeah. So,
Great job.
how do you really like it? Do you really like it? Do you think it's something that would make it to Hollywood? How about that one?
I mean, shit, anything's possible, man. You know, we for many for quite some time now, you know, we've been trying to, you know, a lot of people ask me, what about the actual Bundy reunion, not the stage one, but like, you know, an actual like television show. And you know, one of the issues we've run into is that you know, there's somebody, not one of the cast members, but somebody that was related to one of the producers and that owns a good amount of piece of the show that he doesn't want it to happen.
Okay.
And I'm not exactly sure his reasons. He has some, maybe they're valid, maybe they're not, I don't know. But at this point so far, and it's unfortunate because, you know, for a couple of reasons. First of all, for the fans that are out there, because, you know, a lot of people committed to this show for 11 seasons. And, you know, when Fox canceled it in the 11th season, they weren't sure if they were going to renew it or cancel it. And it was sort of a last minute business decision to cancel it. And unfortunately for the fans, Fox kind of duped them a little bit and into this last episode, this final episode, which really wasn't a final episode at all. It was just another episode that they sort of billed as
Ended it on.
Yeah. And they kind of tricked the audience, which I thought was kind of foul play after some, you know, like I said, you know, millions of people committed to the show for 11 seasons. I think they deserved more. So that's the first sort of mistake, I think. And then the second is that, you know, all of us cast members, you know, including Ed, were willing to do, they were going to be more of sort of recurring roles. You know, I was the one that were sort of going to base the show around, and they would, you know, be sort of ancillary recurring roles. But, you know, again, that hasn't been able to happen as of yet, based on this one person's sort of desires and arguments against. So it's still a work in progress. I'm not saying it's dead in the water, But as of right now, it's been an uphill battle, unfortunately.
Okay. I remember there was talks about a cartoon, and there's always talks about the Married with Grandchildren possibility, but those are still on hold because of this whole thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I had a crystal ball, I would say there's definitely some iteration, some version of it in the not too distant future. I don't know exactly what it'll look like. But you know, I feel like something. So the cartoon, yeah, we actually did something with the great writer Alex Carter, who's of Family Guy fame, and he took it out. I think, you know, they had a little. I think it was kind of an expensive price tag for a lot of the streaming services for a cartoon. You know, with Ed's salary. No, I'm kidding. But you know, it was an expensive. It was an expensive prospect for them. So again, that's also something that's not dead in the water. As a matter of fact, I know some there's going to be some streaming executives and network executives at the reunion that we're doing, you know, on May 9th that, you know, may spark their interest again. So we'll see. Anything's possible.
All right, that's awesome. What else do we have for you? What other products you're working on the documentary? You're working on this reunion. Anything else you're working on in the near future?
Yeah, so right now, like a lot of my career, people are like, "What are you up to?" And most of my career has been, unfortunately, not on camera. It's been voiceover. I do, you know, a lot of voiceover has been my sort of my career over the last 15, 20 years.
Okay.
I've been doing, you know, tons of VO from you know, all the cartoons you can imagine. The two sort of the bigger ones were The Legend of Korra, which was part of the Avatar series. I played Mako in that series, and then the How to Train Your Dragon series that's part of DreamWorks, the Dragon's Race to the Edge, which is actually on Netflix now, as is Korra. And so that's what is out there that people can see now. I also you know, do tons of VO campaigns, voiceover campaigns, commercials. I DJ is another thing that I've been doing a lot of for the last 10 years.
That's awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love it, man. It's a hobby. It's a hobby that turned into a side hustle, a job that I really love. So yeah, just
been there.
Yeah, exactly. You know the deal. Just finished to film a mockumentary that we shot down in Florida, actually, in Tampa and St. Pete, and we just finished that a few weeks back with my partner in crime, Corin Nemec, who we've done several projects together. Most of you may know him as Parker Lewis from Parker Lewis Can't Lose. Great actor, funny dude, and we shot that together. So yeah, we're just, you know, we're on the grind, you know, we're on the hustle.
Okay, awesome. If we have a few minutes, we could take some questions from the live audience if you want.
Yeah, I'm down.
All right. Anyone have any questions specifically for Dave right now? Let's give it a second.
And as while you're waiting, I just want to remind folks that you know, we're talking about bundyclub.com, which we're having our first Zoom meeting tomorrow night. So if you want to join the conversation, ask live questions with Richard Gurman, the executive producer, you can go to bundyclub.com to sign up for that, as well as purchase tickets for the live reunion on May 9th out here in LA. You can all do that all at bundyclub.com.
Okay. A lot of people are asking how's Christina? And we answered that a little while ago. She's doing as good as can be, as he said.
Right.
Okay. Oh yeah, someone asked, are there any Bundy bloopers to be found out there?
Bundy bloopers?
Yes.
Oh, you know what's funny is I haven't really seen a lot of bloopers.
I was saying that earlier.
Yeah, there's a lot of best of moments, but yeah, I mean, bloopers are. I've actually never seen any, believe it or not, ever out there anywhere. So no, unfortunately, there's not. Although that could be funny if someone was able to wrangle those together. They would definitely be R-rated. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the language wasn't so TV friendly once the cameras were off.
Yeah, exactly. I often talk about the scene that, you know, the Christmas episode where you know, Santa Claus was supposed to parachute down into Al's mall, and Al sort of boycotts, and we're all sitting there watching this event take place, and you hear the announcer, Santa's jumped from the plane, and then you all of a sudden hear his tone change. He goes, Santa's chute doesn't seem to be opening, and he lands in our backyard with this tremendous thud. Well, I always talk about that because we could never get that right, because we would laugh every single time, because they had this like life-sized weighted 200-pound dummy on these compressors.
Oh yes.
That were hanging, and they would push the button, and this thing would, I mean, in real life, it just made this horrific thud. And, to this day, if you look very closely, you can see some of us snickering a little bit, because we could never. So that would be some funny bloopers to see.
Yeah. Do you still have the Bud Bundy doll? The one that he used to toss around the show?
I had it for a while, and I had it. I tell people I had it in the back seat of my car, and I would use it as like the for the HOV lane, the carpool lane.
Oh really?
Yeah, but it was so creepy, man, because I would look in the rear view mirror and I would see like this dead version of me. So I finally had to get it out of there. It was just too creepy. But I do have this new Grandmaster B doll that the toy god Dave Vonner and his crew made, that we just premiered it out at Toylanta in Atlanta. So that's a cool thing that's coming soon for people to check out.
Okay, people want to know what happened to the Grandmaster B Raiders jacket and hat.
Oh, that's funny they asked, because the Grandmaster B jacket we actually just gave away to some fans at the. So I did an after party for the last reunion on January 28th that I hosted, and I DJ'd, as well as Be Real DJ'd as well. We did a big after party on the Sunset Strip as well. And one of the gifts that we raffled off was one of the Grandmaster B jackets. There was probably like 3 or 4 of them, but we raffled off one of them. I still have another one hanging in my closet, and I think the other 2 are in the vault somewhere. I don't know the hat. I don't know. I don't know where the official hat is. I think there was probably several of them,
Okay. Yeah. Someone else asks, did Ed O'Neill ad-lib those fat jokes, or were they written in?
No, I mean, as a matter of fact, Ed would feel, because we'd have these sort of women that would come on that were heavy or large or whatever the right term is, and Ed would have to just dig into them, and it was always sort of hard. You meet these lovely people, and then you have to diss them. So Al would always say, hey, Ed would always say, hey man, I don't write this stuff. And he didn't, most of the stuff that you see, I'd say 95% of it was all scripted. The writers were tremendous. They were great writers. Hats off to those guys. And, we would ad lib once in a great while. And if they liked it, they would keep it. And so that happened. But most of it was written.
Okay.
Including the fat jokes.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Because for a long time, even I think he appeared on one of the MTV shows, Ed O'Neill, in a dissing contest, and he won it against was it Jamie Foxx?
Oh, really? I don't know if I've seen that.
I can't really remember if it was Jamie Foxx. I could be getting it wrong. Could be a totally different comedian. But they were going in on each other, and Ed O'Neill won. He was known as the master roaster at the time.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I got to see that. I think it might have been Jamie Foxx. I remember somebody mentioning it to me, but I've never seen it.
Yes. What else? They want to know, would you ever play Bud Bundy again, even for a short role?
Yeah, I love the character of Bud Bundy. I mean, it was one of the greatest roles. The greatest role I've played. I started acting when I was 3 months old, and I did the whole circuit, Love Boat and Fantasy Island and Family Ties and Little House on the Prairie, all that stuff. And it was all great, and I've had great experiences. But, Bud Bundy was what I'm known for. It's sort of the glove that fit. And, if we were to be able to reprise, like I said, another version of the show, I would love to. I think it would be great.
If it was your choice, what would Bud Bundy be doing now? What would his life be right now?
It's funny because there's 2 different versions. He could be the sort of dude that's running some kind of like hip hop club, maybe, kind of akin to what I do, and the trials and tribulations of doing that, and still trying to get, the women at this age. Or he could be settled down, with a family, and he's kind of trying to break away from being Al. But of course, as most of us, we become our parents to some extent. That could be funny as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's something in there. Maybe, hopefully he's not a shoe salesman.
You're right, right. Oh no, I can actually see if I had my version of Bud as an adult, probably him successful, but him very naive to a lot of what's going on around him. Let's say he had a wife that's constantly cheating on him, but he doesn't know it. Like he's very naive to that.
Yeah,
you know,
I can see that.
But he's very successful. He does everything. He's not broke like his father was.
Yeah, he made some money, right? Yeah.
But he doesn't know everything else that's really going on around him. Almost like Al didn't know about Kelly.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or didn't care.
So yeah, or didn't care. Right.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's why one of the lines I love from the first, the first episode, the pilot. Al, it's the first time they've met Steve and Marcy. They come over there and they're talking. And they're trying to get to know each other. And the Darcys are, is it the Darcys? Yeah, the Darcy, the Rhodes. They're the Rhodes at the time.
The Rhodes was the original, right?
Yeah, and they're trying to go, figure these people out. And they say, where are your kids? And he goes, I don't know. You know what I mean? That line always made me laugh because they were too overwhelmed to worry about where their kids were.
Right. It was always funny. It was always funny. Let's see. We have any good questions here? What kind of girlfriend you think Bud will get? I actually think Bud will get a supermodel girlfriend, and once again, yes, and then not know that he's constantly getting cheated on.
Yup, yeah, I agree. He would have someone gorgeous.
Yes. Bring back the mullet.
Man, I gotta rock that. Well, the mullet came back for a very short time in say 2000, 2002, right around that point. No, yeah, about right then. And it was a different version of the mullet, but it made a comeback for a couple of years. It was a trip.
There you go.
So Bud Bundy was before his time.
Yeah. Someone said they met you at Missouri Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, we were just there this past weekend. It was very cool, man. It was a huge Comic-Con. Like it was one of the bigger ones I've ever been to, and it was great. I got to get points from my daughter because she's into anime, and they had all these a bunch of anime stars. Also this cartoon called Has Been Hotels, which is actually more for adults, but my daughter's a fan, and I got to get some autographs from those people, and she just went crazy. It was very cool. So shout out Missouri Comic-Con. That was fun.
There we go. What else we got? We have you got Love from Israel. A lot of people saying Love from Israel.
Israel has always been a huge fan base for Married with Children.
Okay, that's knowledge I didn't know.
Oh yeah. The Israelis love some Married with Children. As a matter of fact, Christina Applegate and I went out there many years ago in the late 90s. And they were just mobbing our hotel, our bus. It was wild. We felt like the Beatles.
Did you do you have a favorite from the chat room? Do you have a favorite scene or a favorite episode that's your favorite personal?
Yeah, I have a few of my favorite episodes. I really like the Dumpwater, Florida episodes. Where we go down.
That was good.
We go down to Florida for this vacation to Poppies by the tree hotel, and it's just a total shithole, and we end up getting chased around by the axe murderer. Was that the axe murderer one? Yeah, I think it was, right?
Yes.
And that one that was a two-parter, I think. And then I also, like I said, I love the Christmas episodes, and I love the one with Sam, the one where Santa Claus falls down. I also love the ones with Sam Kinison, and having him for 2 weeks was just a complete trip, man. He was a beast. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So I know we're going about 45 minutes now. If there's anything else you want to talk about, we're all ears.
Yeah, I just want to say, a shout out Al Bundy Clips. I'm a new follower over there. Didn't know you guys existed, and then somebody pointed me in that direction, and so it's a cool site. Thank you guys. What's the other gentleman's name?
Leo.
Yeah, thank you, Leo, and you guys for running that thing. It's great that you have as many followers as you have. You have, like I said, exactly 700,000 followers more than I do. I don't know how you managed to pull that off, but shout out to all those guys. And yeah, just
that's
again,
all him.
yeah, I just want to shout out again, bundyclub.com. Tomorrow night is our first Zoom meeting with co-executive producer, writer Richard Gurman. People can join the conversation live and chime in and ask questions live. And again, the next live reunion with the whole Bundy family, the four of us here in LA, May 9th. Part of the Netflix is a Joke Fest, and you again can get those tickets at bundyclub.com. You can scroll down and there's a link to Ticketmaster. So we're looking forward to it.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you guys
David.
for having
Thank
me.
you.
It was great chat, and let's do it again. And I loved your
we'll definitely do it again.
I loved your reel, the history of the 4 touchdowns in one game, and it was very funny.
Thank you. I'm actually look. I kid you not. I'm actually getting goosebumps you saying that.
Word. Yeah, I'm gonna show
That's
it.
amazing.
You'll have to send it to me, and I'll send it to Ed. He'll get a kick out of that.
Oh, please. Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah, he'll love it.
See, look, goosebumps again. Goosebumps again. I'm not even kidding with you.
Hey, listen, if you didn't get, one of the things I'm really great at in life is giving other people goosebumps, whether good or bad.
Yes.
I'm kidding. But thanks for having me, man. Thank you guys all for joining the live stream. And thank you guys for being fans. It means the world to us.
Thank you so much, David, for everything you do. We're grateful for everything.
Right on, brother. We'll see you next time.
All right.
All right. Peace.
See you next time.